What up guys, today we're gonna check out Nightwish Amaranth. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it a lot if you drop a follow. I wanna rate my music videos with 3 different aspects. One being the fact, the aesthetics, how it looks, how the video presents itself. Second one of all, of course, the voice. And third one of all, the lyrics. Let's get into it right away. Immediately, very beautiful landscape. I really love it. Mellow music, but you hear there's something more dramatic coming up. It feels ethereal, like almost angelic in a way. Yeah, the drop. I really love the drop. The fact that it goes from do and boom, right in there shows you immediately. Wait here, I will show it. The second you see the angel, it drops. Watch. Here. Right the moment you see the angel. What might that mean? I don't know yet. I've seen this numerous times. It's one of my favorite songs. But I cannot quite get there yet. The one thing might be the fact that it's wounded, perhaps? I love this. Wait, I'll explain why I certainly love this. The moment the young boys find the angel, and I don't know yet whether they recognized it's an angel or just a human being, let's say, right? But the fact that the first instinct goes towards, hey, I see something in distress or potentially wounded, let's go check it out and help. Which is a very, how would I say, heroic deed, and especially in young boys developing mindset. How would I phrase this properly? For lack of better words, let me just explain it. Maybe I'm a slightly bit off, but it's a character trait to become and understand how to defend or help your significant other, your family, etc. I think this could be relating towards growing up, if that makes sense. That's why we play with swords and things like that when we're younger, right? As sticks pretending to fight, I don't know, dragons, whatever. And then this drops. The fact that the music accelerates and you go downstairs, below. The fact that we go below indicates often a more hellish, I would say. Yeah, a more dramatic tone of evil. So this could technically, I don't know whether the writer talked about it that way as well. I presume so, because we're now below the ground. Below the ground, of course, is often demonic, quote unquote, gateway to hell, etc. And going up is heavens, right? So that's really just an indicate where this music goes. Honestly, Annette, if I'm correct, it's Annette, right? Yeah, Annette Olsen's voice suits this video so good. I know there are multiple singers, you know, voice throughout the whole Nightwish aspect. But I personally think Annette just blew it away in this video. I'm actually thinking sure we're in the rock/metal category. There's a little bit louder sounds and music is the genre. I get that. Now we see a couple of things. The angel is blindfolded, which I cannot really put my finger on why yet, but I have the feeling it will be really important. Also, you clearly can see it's still alive. And the fact that even though we're above the ground, still have a deeper sound of music indicates, in my opinion, and of course I know the video, I've watched it a million times, but it indicates hell is about to come, if that makes sense. We are not done yet with the intro of mayhem, perhaps, right? I like that the switch in the vocality of Annette's voice going higher, lower, higher, lower in the pace of the music, which is almost marching in a way. As if you think of a song for a military, if that makes sense, right? It shows that there is a certain aspect, perhaps, that should be here. Wait. Yeah, should be categorized as perhaps an unity about to be formed or something like that. I found this very interesting. The first reaction of, let's say, the village is almost non-welcoming. It's perfectly bound to the music as well. The young boys, very often adventurous, just don't know what to bring. And I think in most cases, if you found something that you see for the first time, it can be quite daunting, especially if you're older and set in your emotions, perhaps. I understand that violence can be one of the things that first come to mind. Especially what I like to see here is the fact that she cannot see yet. She has, it looks like she has the feeling that she's not welcomed, if that makes sense. And sure, she can sit like that because she's wounded, but 9 out of the 10 times, it's more mentally that you go over like that, like you know, physical appearance like that, due to the fact that what you think you become embodied, right? But sure, it could also be because you're wounded, and I don't know how she got wounded, the angel, especially if you're ethereal. How the heck do you get wounded, right? that reaching, that sound. Oh, I love that. Very well done. Reaching, and then hearing voices. It is really biblical. If you go do a prayer, right? You pray to some deity. If I'm correct, in most Bibles, Christian Bibles, when you pray, God doesn't per se hear you. It's Raphael, one of his archangel sons, and then give the message to it. So it could be that the angel is technically reaching out, if that makes sense, instead of the crowd, quote unquote. And I like the fact that the whole band is wearing black and they're below the earth. It really suits the atmosphere. This I found quite interesting. The young boys are getting dragged away because they're more protective, and the older ones are the ones who grab the youngest away because they live longer, and it goes back towards what I say, you're setting stone in your emotions quite more often than when you're older than younger. But also the fact that they burn down the shed. For those who don't know, flames are quite an odd thing. They're either good and bad at the same time, or they're neither good or neither bad. I don't know precisely how to phrase it, but you can see flames as and fire as purification. There's pretty much nothing that literally can live in fire. Therefore, everything that is burns away, crisps away, is cleansed. So that's a really interesting factor for me, that they even burn the shed. So that could be an indication of we don't want to see anything left behind. But it also could be, how will I phrase this? Getting rid of evil per se, or something along those lines. Even though it could come from being afraid of what you don't know. We have this phrase in the Netherlands, I'm Dutch by the way, wat de boer niet eet, of kent eet hij niet, which loosely translates to, if a farmer doesn't know what he farmed, he won't eat it. And I like this phrase really pretty much here, like, you've never seen an angel, thus how do you react? Pearson seems really reasonable. Like, why wouldn't you be afraid? It's something that you haven't seen before, right? I like the fact that the angel survives and presumably goes home, right? I don't know yet. But as you see, they go home, let's say, for this instance, up. So above, which means often more ethereal, like God, whatever. So that's very interesting. I honestly, for everybody who works on this one, just amazing. I honestly cannot say anything negative about this whole in a whole experience of this video. The song is quite nice. It's almost perfect in my opinion. The transition between seeing a beautiful forest and starting up really slow, but you hear there's something about to come. And the moment there's something about to come, you come in vision of something darker. Is literally a deity being wounded. It's genius. Then let's go over quickly over what the lyrics are, right? First sentence, Baptist. So the emphasis is instantly on religion, which I cannot not argue with that whatsoever. This whole video is just straight up, let's say, religion being thrown at you from every possible angle. It's ingenious, really. I think Thomas pronounced it like this. So that's actually the person who wrote it. So songwriter Thomas Holopainen, whatever it's pronounced. Sorry if I mispronounced it. But just genius. Somebody who can write this and make this into a song. I cannot believe he wouldn't have strong attachment to religion, whether it's positive or negative, I don't know. But you must be a genius. There's no other way. Let's see, okay. So with the perfect name, troubling one by heart, all without himself. The troubling one by heart. By heart means it is integrated in you, yeah, in a way. And I think that really emphasis towards being young. And that's why you instantly saw the two kids, right? So that makes sense. It just completely makes sense. War between him and the day? Could be, I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. Something like that could be the way between his own being and the village and the society that you have to live up with, right? So that could be perhaps one of the implications towards war. You might be different than your environment. Could possibly be. You need someone to blame. I really find that one more suiting towards perhaps the entrance when they get in the bridge and see the whole village, right? They blame the angel, but they blame the kids as well, if that makes sense. In the end, little he can do alone. Which just... I have multiple theories for this. In the end, he couldn't do it alone. First one of all, he was with presumably a little brother or a friend, right? Because there were two young boys. Second one of all, in the end, he couldn't do alone. It could be a reference towards having faith, true and utter faith, which seems really possible because it's just thrown around in your face at this point. So yeah, makes sense. You believe, but what you see. You receive, but what you give. Those kids believed an angel is, they see it, they believe it. The moment they see it, the receiving is what you give. They wanted to help a deity, let's say, right? Or something along those lines. And I think that could be maybe an eternal love from God or something along those lines. Very interesting, really interesting. This one sets me to think about life just in general. This really gets me. It's a good sentence. Here, care the one, the never fading, rain in your heart, the tears of snow white sorrow. If I'm correct, we didn't saw snow. So snow, presumably white. I don't know where I'm going towards with this and everything. So we're just gonna go on a tantrum of what I'm gonna think about this. So caress the one, the never fading. Never fading could be religion and just belief. Religion is as old as time. It never fades. So that could be a reference straight up to the Bible and believing, I don't know. Rain in your heart, the tears of snow white sorrow. So the rain transfers into snow. Heart, sorrow. It's a beautiful rhyme, right? Rain in your heart indicates a certain pain, maybe grief, I don't know. The tears of snow, so it means there is a transition between, let's say, a certain grief or something towards something else. I cannot quite yet make font of what this truly means, but it has greater potential beyond my capabilities for sure. But there is some kind of transition in somebody's heart, and I don't know whether Thomas wrote this out of his own experience. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments knows this, but honestly, feel free to write whatever you think about the song and how much you love it or not, and just, maybe help me out even, if you think that you know what everything means. I love to see more opinions, because I definitely don't have all the answers. That's just, very unlikely. You're the one that's hiding the Amaranth. Amaranth is a gem, or precious, let's say. So hiding something precious. Theoretically, the kids took it to a shed. A shed was closed, thus it's being hidden. So they're hiding something precious. It could be a reference towards the angel. Could be in the land of the daybreak. Could be just the city or the village or whatever you want to pronounce it, right? I don't know. I don't see a lot in this. Maybe somebody else does. Apart from the wandering back, in this brief flight of time we reach for the ones who ever there. Ooh, yeah, that's heavy. Apart from the wandering back, so the two boys were clearly outcast in belief systems, right? So even though you can be in your village, you can be in your tribe, you can be in your community, it doesn't mean you really belong there. It's just you happen to be born there. Thus you can feel very alienated, I guess. And we saw only 2 young people, and the rest was all old. Therefore, sure. Could be a valid hypothesis. In this brief flight of time we reach for the ones who ever dare. Those boys dared. They dared. You don't know what happens when you touch something divine, right? They dared. They had balls of steel, 100% sure. You believe but what you see what you... Okay, we already cleared that one, so the care ones, never fading, raining hard, the end of the day. Okay, we had that one as well, reaching. Okay, cool. Reaching, searching something untouched. Purity is often untouched. Think about babies, things like that. They are not really molded in society yet. They don't have beliefs, they just have feelings, right? So therefore, reaching, searching something untouched could be something heavenly, could be something which isn't being touched. Touched often, let's say, quote unquote, means something like a void in this sentence, I suppose. So when you watch the Abyss watches back, right? So once you see darkness and get touched by darkness, you become a part of the darkness. So seeing something eternal as an angel blows me away. That's untouched. There's no doubt in my mind, but once again, maybe somebody else has a better explanation. Would love to hear that. Hearing the voices never fading calls. This, I really like this. Hearing the voices never fading calls. Whether it is God speaking towards the boys or the angel speaking to God or something along those lines, or in the Bible, Raphael. Anyway, it really shows that the ones who believe can reach out, and it will never fade, because you have such a strong belief that this is your way, let's say. It will never fade. I truly believe that. It sounds so good. Honestly, I don't have more. I just enjoyed this song so much. Thank you guys for watching it. Feel free to comment down below. Please subscribe. If you learned something, if you enjoyed it, thank you very much. If you want to see me on Twitch, I stream from time to time, do reactions, do some gameplay from different games and whatnot. Have a good one. Peace.